Hi, welcome to a new human experience. Today is July 4th, 2019. And so happy birthday to America. And we in Canada here are doing something a little different. So tonight's topic is called Are You Willing? So the topic is called Are You Willing? Because that's part of the exercise that we're going to do a little later on. And I will explain now. So it's about limitations. I'm thinking about limitations. I remember a while ago I saw on Amelia Ben's website. She has a kind of a process. She has a talk about limitations and that we actually took on limitations. For example, we took on, for example, like having a certain handicap or having a certain experiences that limits how we see the world. We take on these limitations deliberately. And when I was kind of reading that article, I was like, what? Who in their right mind would want to take on limiting like circumstances? Like, I want to be unlimited as a human being. And I was struggling with how come we as a like unlimited eternal source wants to take on limitation. And then I think after a while I begin to understand and get more insight on why we deliberately take on limiting beliefs, limiting circumstances, or just ways of limiting ourselves as a way of being, as part of our being. And the way I understood it is that I remember when I first learned how to play with energy and do energy healing, the first thing we do is to learn how to create a sacred space. So we would kind of imagine in our imagination, cast a circle around ourselves. And the circle can be as big as a room, or can be just 5 feet big, or it can be like much bigger. And that's the first step in any kind of, like, even a lot of the Native American shamanic practice would have sacred circle. It's really a kind of, it's a form of limitation. And the more I get into learning energy healing, I understand that the point of having a sacred circle, creating a sacred space for ourselves, is not just for protection, but it's also to create kind of a limitation, or kind of like a lab, or a practicing area for ourselves. Because within that sacred circle that we create, that's when we send our energy out and start to create magic. When we are in that sacred circle, the magic could be that when we are in that circle, our energy becomes much stronger. So someone who comes in to our sacred space, if they're sensitive enough, they would actually feel that there's something there. And also, in whatever intention that you put out for that healing session that is within your sacred space, it's all contained within that area. It's kind of like a learning, it's a learning exercise, because the idea is that you cast a smaller circle so that you can practice and you can build up your energy. And when your energy is built up and it's much more powerful, then you start to cast a bigger circle and a bigger circle and a bigger circle, so that eventually your sphere of influence can be as big as the whole earth, or maybe as big as the whole universe. So that really is the way I was taught to how to play with and grow energy. It's one of them. And the more I think about that, actually, the more I understand that limitations, the way we limitate, we take on limitation, it's really a little bit like that. Is when we were young, we take on our parents' model of the world, and or whatever it is that resonate with us, whatever it is that we like to play with, we just take on those things as limitations. And those limitations, for the time, when, especially when we were young, or at certain periods of our life, helped us to grow. It may be something that is very perverted, but it's really a start. However, the idea is that as we grow, as we become more skilled, then we can start to take down those initial barriers and extend it so that we become bigger. We have larger influence, and then just grow in terms of that larger influence. And then when we become even stronger, then we actually take down those barriers and we start to create an even bigger circle, or skills or beliefs, to extend our beliefs, so that at some point, we will be flexible enough to encompass all the beliefs that we want to play with in our lives. The thing is that, well, I can't really say for other people. I can only say for myself. The thing is that I didn't understand that, I didn't clue in that, those initial limiting beliefs was something that's just going to help me for a period of time, and that I'm supposed to be the one to take them down and then extend it, modify it, and make it, and grow into the next bigger one. I kept myself small for a very long time until it becomes so uncomfortable for me that I have to really go and look for different methods to help myself grow, and all that. So that, however, I still, what I'm trying to say is that the beliefs, the limiting beliefs, that was they weren't limiting at first. It's just that at some point we outgrow those beliefs at some point in our lives. It's just that we were never, I would say, never taught that we are supposed to take those down and then move on to bigger and better things. In that, somehow I missed that memo. So, however, one of the things that I really want to acknowledge is that those beliefs, which at this point now is limiting me, it was very useful, and it really helped me shape my life, and allow me to experience certain things until, now that I am old enough, I'm skilled enough, I have more skills, more tools, that I can start to take them down. So with the send off is that I actually recently came across, one of a book that I'm reading. It's called, Creating the Impossible, and one of the exercise in the book it's about breaking down, or to find the, where we are limiting ourselves. It's actually to find our, limits, to find where the edge of our world, our beliefs, our comfort zone is. So that's the exercise that I would like to, just play with all of you. So if you don't already have, please, take out a piece of paper and a pen, or a pencil, or whatever it is that you prefer to write with. You can do it on your laptop if you're more comfortable typing rather than writing. So whatever it is, it's up to you. And what I'm going to do is actually ask you a series of questions. And what I want you to do is feel your comfort level. For example, the first question I'm going to ask you is, are you willing to accept yourself unconditionally? So what I'm looking for is a yes, and an unqualified yes. And you can either feel that like congruently, you just feel, yes, I'm absolutely ready to accept myself unconditionally. Or you may feel a little bit of, I would say, like something heavy around your heart area. So so what I'm looking for is it a yes, or is it a let me think about it, maybe, I don't know, I'll get back to you. So those would be a no, even though it may not be a flat no, but it's definitely not a very enthusiastic yes. So when you cannot say yes to something, then you know that there is somehow, somewhere, a belief, a certain kind of a belief that's holding you back from saying yes to those things. And that's what I want you to notice is that, it's whatever it is, it's not a definite yes. And then you may not understand, or you may not know exactly what it is that's holding you back, but at least you know that, you feel it in your heart area, or you feel it in your gut area, or somehow, you, when I ask you that question, you have a headache. So at least you know that some energy has been stored in part of your body that is, when I ask you the question, is triggering that. So just to write down where you feel the disbelief is being stored at, so that we can, at the next step of the process, to also let go of that, to energetically to do that. So at first, though, let's find out where our limits is, and then the next is really to energetically let go of those. So ready? Okay, hope you all kind of understand what I'm saying. What I'm asking is, when I ask you a question, it's a yes. If it's not a yes, it's not an enthusiastic yes, then just write down where it is that you feel the limiting belief may be residing, or there may be some unprocessed emotions that's still stored in your body. So just note those things. Okay, so here comes the first question. And you already know the first question. Are you willing to accept yourself unconditionally? I'll give you just a little bit of time so you can write it down. And nobody is checking your answer, so it's not something that you need to share unless you choose to. So you can write anything you want. Or I may add that sometimes you may ask, when I ask a question, you may hear a voice that says, yeah, but, something like that. So if you hear something, that kind of, automatic question that comes to your mind, you may want to jot down that question as well. Okay, so here comes the next one. Are you willing to love your life just as it is? I'm feeling a little pushback on this one. I don't know about you guys. And the next question: are you willing to trust the universe has your back? The next one is: are you willing to let the universe take care of you completely? And the next four questions is kind of related, so I would read them one at a time. And one or more of them may trigger you. Are you willing to receive $100? Are you willing to receive $1,000? Are you willing to receive $100,000? Are you willing to receive $1,000,000? The next one: are you willing to love yourself unconditionally? And the next one: are you willing to love money? Are you willing to appreciate all your neighbors? Are you willing to succeed? Are you willing to love what you do? Are you willing to love what you are doing now? Are you willing to love your body? Are you willing to love your family? And the last one, are you willing to stand for what you believe in unconditionally? Okay, so now that we have stirred up something, let's clean it up. So I want you all to start to just remember that about 10 minutes ago, at the beginning of all this, that we are kind of finding your limits of what it is that you feel comfortable with and what it is that you don't feel comfortable with. So I want you to tick everything that you don't feel comfortable with yet. And just imagine that all those beliefs, unprocessed emotions, other people's limitations that you somehow have adopted, all of those things. So just imagine that you are extending them. And you don't need to know the details. But what you're doing is actually asking your unconscious mind to take all of those unprocessed emotions and beliefs that somehow you're not comfortable with, to start to energetically clear them out. Start to expand your energy. And you can do that by just scanning your whole body, because all the emotions, beliefs, they are not stored anywhere else but in your energy field. So just start to scan it. Start from the top of your head. And when you feel that there is something that is kind of sticky, then intentionally increase the energy. Increase your own energy field so that that part of your body, the energy becomes less dense. And increase the energy within your body so that that part of your body start to feel light. And I would also suggest is to spin your energy as well, because it's kind of, in my experience, when you spin the energy, it's easier to let them go. And it's also easier to increase your energy level. And just to have a intentions to spin your energy, increase it, make it bigger. Whenever you get to a part of your body that feels dense, just spin it more and make it bigger until you feel that part of your body is light. And just allow yourself to push the boundaries of that part of your body to be all the way out, so that you're over your limit. And that unprocessed emotions cannot stay anymore because it's out of bounds. And when you finish with one part of your body, just keep moving down until you go to the next part that feels sticky in your body. Then you do the same, is to expand it out. And I'm doing it with you as well. I'm kind of catching on what's going on with the group as well. And giving you all some extra energy to work with. Keep the same thing, keep on doing the same thing, is to whenever you get to a part of your body that feels a little heavy or sticky, somehow that's not smooth, then expand it. Infuse more energy into it, breathe energy into it, expand that, and allow the energy to spin so that you have more momentum to work with. And expand it until it is so big that heaviness or stickiness cannot stay around anymore. If you want to play more around with it, you can actually imagine white light as well. Or you may want to imagine a green light, whichever color works for you. But I would suggest either white or gold or green. Those are good healing colors. And different parts of body may respond to a different color of light. I'm just going to call it, I'm sensing there's a lot of hot issues in the people in this group, so I'm just clearing and clearing and clearing. I do find that gold light actually helps with clearing hot issues. I'm actually being shown that using a silver color is good as well. When I kind of call in some additional help, I'm being shown silver color is actually very good. And keep going. When you finish with one part of your body, just move down to the next spot and scan for heavy energy or sticky energy. And just expand your energy out. Spin the energy. And then if you like, put in some different color frequency to help with the clearing as well. You should feel a nice shift that just then there was a nice shift. Seems the whole group seems a little better now. Good. I'm kind of down to the feet area now. However, if you're not there yet, then you keep doing in your process and follow your own rhythm. Okay, good. Very good. When I was first working on feet, I actually was seeing a lot of toxins being released. Now it seems to be quite clear. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here. If you're not done yet, that's okay. You can continue on while I get some feedback from everyone else.